Rants at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about films you may have seen at house parties. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and insisting everyone call her by the really cool nickname she made up is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
We all knew somebody like that. They were the most annoying human on the planet. We went to college with one of them.
We went to college with several of them.
Yeah, we did. We like a lot of Proto the Plagues. No. And I literally...
Wing.
Oh, I wasn't going to... that was the one I was thinking of and I wasn't going to say it.
I very much doubt he listens, or anybody who knows him listens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must.
And I was on like message boards and shit like that where we literally did like... when we met up, we would use like our handles and crap.
But you wouldn't insist on it.
No.
And
there was one or two
really
people who were
handle.
like, oh no, call me like their actual name.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I had stupid, silly handles on the internet and like really silly, stupid ones. And that was what people would call me when we met up off the internet. And I'd be fine with it, but I'd never try and pick a really cool one.
Yeah.
There's always one.
There's always one. And then there's always that one kid who gets the, like, really horrible one foisted on them that, like, follows them forever. And they think they've been rid of it and they'll meet up with somebody and they'll be like, hey, it's you. And they're like, why the fuck are you calling him that?
Yeah.
Father Fluffy Bottom.
That's the other end of the spectrum, though.
Yeah.
That's nicknames you can't get away from.
Versus nicknames
you're trying to make everybody call you.
Yeah.
Didn't give much away. The talk of message boards might. And the episode title. But today we're talking hackers.
Oh, the movie that I wanted to be every single one of them. That was like my teenage like idol goals.
I was going to say a film that makes us nostalgic for a time and a counterculture that we were not part of.
No, we just missed it. And
young for
when
it.
we were kind of coming up of age, it was all Y2K and the world's going to end. And
literally just a matter of a few years and we would have been those people. Well, maybe not in Ireland.
Well, no, in fairness, I still have like spindles and spindles of like blank. Well, I don't know if they're blank or not. Discs
probably not.
From like back in the day,
afraid to put 90% of them in.
Because God knows what's on them. Because I had friends who wrote viruses.
I was going to say, you had viruses.
Yeah, I had friends who wrote viruses and they were like, yeah, here you go, just give it to somebody as like a mixed CD. I'd be like, oh yeah, just,
Somebody you don't like.
Yeah, basically. And so I'm terrified to put them into anything.
Well, most computers don't even have fucking disk
I'm
drives
pretty sure
anymore.
I still have ones on floppy disks as well.
Now, floppy disks.
In fact, I do have.
And this movie. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're everywhere. I remember the Colour G ones because I actually used to have them. Because I have a set of them in there and I keep meaning to spray lacquer them and use them as coasters.
I will say, for how heavily it focuses on the technology at the time, it hasn't... Okay, it's aged it terribly, but it hasn't aged it terribly either. You know what I mean? It's not like... by no means does it stop me from enjoying the film.
No, and I remember that, like when you watch anything now where it's like, oh, they're hacking in and they have to find my IP and you use a VPN and scrambling
it's not
and blah,
much
blah,
better.
blah, blah, blah. They're just using payphones. Which I think is genius. I was like, oh, I remember like unhacked or like untapped possibilities of being able to hack through phone lines.
That's one of the things that I loved about this was all the
old school
the hardware hacking. Phone hacking and stuff like that. Like I used to have the Anarchist Handbook or the Anarchist Cookbook and I had all the phone stuff.
Oh yeah, like how you could hack the ATMs the way they do it in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And then tape recording stuff because it was all just dial tone or sequences. And you could learn all of those things. There was ways of doing it all.
Oh yeah, like Freak's little thing for getting free calls.
Oh, they're tapping it 10 times?
No, the little recorder. That's absolutely a thing. Like.
Oh, recording credit card sequences?
That's still a thing.
Yeah. Touchdown phones, man. Touchdown phones.
But yeah, no, I will say that when we went into it, that I was worried a little bit. Like I knew... Obviously, there's bits that crack me up every time when we watch this film.
Just serial killer being like
but in terms
the
of
best time.
The bad technology that they all think is the cutting edge, but we're 30 odd years on now.
Okay, stop it because my first portable USB was 128 kilobytes.
Okay, we can't just spend the entire podcast talking about the shitty old technology we had. We will need to talk about the movie. But no, considering and
that was like 2004, so we've come a long way.
Yeah. But, I'm trying to think of, other films where they, highlight new technology. And I don't mean, like CG or anything like that. I mean, in world, like they do in this. It often does really super dated. You know when they talk about, beepers and stuff in Friends.
Well, they have beepers in this as well. But you still get beepers.
I know, mostly doctors. But,
yeah, they're still useful.
But I don't think it ages as much as I was expecting.
No, it's things like when you see... I think anything that uses, early mobile,
I suppose it's because it's all early versions of the technology we still use.
Yeah.
It's still phones, it's still laptops, it's still internet connections.
It's still your Sony Walkman in a plastic bag.
In the shower.
In the shower. Good God, man, just get a speaker.
There were no speakers.
No, and a Sony Walkman too. No, those things were durable enough.
They were.
Yeah.
You got shower attachments for them. I'm pretty sure the headphones he has are like shower headphones.
They've got like plastic bags around. Because remember when the headphones used to just be like that really thin, painful metal bar with the foamy covers, like the ones you used to get on airlines?
What's the ones that Dade has at the very start of the film? When
Yeah, the real shitty ones.
Yeah.
And they look like they're just like baggies, like plastic baggies tied around the two foamy bits. To stop them getting wet. Yeah, no, dude, just put the radio on. Come on, you have a cassette player in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think
you've got a boombox.
I think maybe because it is all like we still get films about hackers and we still get films about computer viruses and things like that. So I think that maybe that's why it doesn't. Like, don't get me wrong, you will still crack up at some of the stuff on it. Like, look at how that. But they even still represent fucking hackers in the way they do it. It's all mad shit on screen.
Yeah, in the floating numbers, and
still in 2023.
It's kind of following on from the whole Jurassic Park lied to us about how directories are set out. They don't look like little towers, and this builds it on that as well. When he's like flying through the Netscape, it's like, nah, dude. I know that like actual computer code is boring as fuck to look at.
Yeah,
doesn't make a great visual. But them looking when they open that garbage file and it's all like the confused lady math meme.
It basically is. Confused Dade.
It's confused Dade math meme and confused Jessie.
Yep.
No, Jesse's all like, oh my God. But it's kind of like when they're looking at the Matrix.
No, I think it's exactly the opposite of looking at because Neo is looking at all the lines of code and trying to see pictures in it.
Yeah.
They're looking at all these graphics on screen and shit and trying
like,
to see
my God,
trying to see the code
plan.
in it.
It's an evil plan.
But
it's very much a snapshot of like mid-90s counter culture.
Oh God,
It's like if this had been like 3 or 4 years earlier, they would have been too apathetic to do anything about it.
Yep. But no, just in terms of the graphics, I think if they had just had, apart from the fact that it would make it really boring if they had just had them coding on screen every time they're tapping away.
I wanted to see some speed coding though. That would have been fun.
It would completely change the look of the film.
Yeah.
If they didn't have all these funky graphics.
Yeah, and the whooshings and what is with his massive like his office tower block building, whatever the computer is in the
Gibson.
Oh, the Gibson, yeah, his big
supercomputer.
Gibson room. Yeah, shouldn't be sparking like that. That's not good. Somebody's not earthed something properly. That's really, really bad for electronics. That's like, it looks cool, don't get me wrong. It's like this big sparky, like fucking, like
I feel like they had hacker consultants for this.
Yeah, there is a certain amount though where they were
got the hacker
that just looks
just
cool.
for the hacking stuff.
Yeah.
And didn't have them do anything to do with the Gibson.
Yeah, because that's not bad. I literally, like, I could hear mates of mine, like, howling in frustration.
No, the worst for that.
Over some of it.
The worst for that is when Joey's mom pulls out the plug.
Oh, that was so bad for your computer.
Not good for your PCs.
Oh, that was so bad for your computer. The fact that anything was on that disc because she just unplugged it so it's not been formatted, that disc should have just been mulch.
But plot has to happen.
Yeah, I know, plot has to happen.
And speaking of things that have to happen, summaries have to happen. 7 years after being arrested for one of the world's biggest hacks and now 18, Dade Murphy can finally use computers again. After moving to New York and starting a new school, he immediately starts running with the hacker crowd. But when one of his gang stumbles onto a scam while hacking and gets framed for it, Dade and his friends must band together to stop the world's first neckbeard.
He is basically the world's first neckbeard. Like, he isn't the full, like, fucking fedora katana milady.
He's not far off it.
But he is very, like, he gets laid and he's successful. But he is very much the spirit of the neckbeard.
Oh, call me the plague. He, like...
Mr. the Plague.
Mr. the Plague. His whole bit about how...
He's a samurai.
Yeah, we are the keyboard cowboys. We are the samurai.
I remember watching this and being like... You wanted to be like Dade and Kay and all of them and live in this really cool subculture, this weird underground where you're buying military hardware. The rainbow books are a real thing.
You always knew more about that kind of stuff than I did, though. The technical.
Oh, it's just because I had mates that like did stuff like that.
But yeah, no, I didn't really have any mates who were Kate or Dade. I had a few mates who were the Plague, probably. Definitely in college. But yeah, they were just so cool. The fashion choices aside.
It was the mid-90s. we're not going to comment on it. Although the white...
Oh, we are going to comment on
it.
The
white jumpsuit that Kate's wearing when it's like her gaff party, yes, that I want. The rest of it, nah, you're all right. Particularly the Roxy Sport bodysuits, the wetsuit ones, because that just looked really uncomfortable.
I'd say Joey is probably about the only one who doesn't look ridiculously 90s, and Joey's the only one who gets like fashion abuse.
He's wearing a Kangol hat. How much more 90s can you get?
Oh, he's absolutely 90s, but he's not in like leopard print or like brightly coloured camo vests.
No, you leave Freak alone.
He's more 90s.
Freak and Nikon are brilliant.
Oh, they are. They're all great.
And Serial Killer just with the random shit that he's wearing half the time.
Serial Killer is probably the only person who could wander around today and not be like, hey, that guy's straight out of the 90s. He just looks like a weirdo. But you still get weirdos that dress like that with like tops that are half tops and straps all over them and random bags hanging off them. And that's kind of how you dress sometimes.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. I still dress very much like that. Like I fell in my wardrobe and went, this is what I'm wearing today.
But yeah, no, everybody wanted to grow up to be Dade and Freak and Nikon and Serial Killer, but most of the people I knew grew up to be the Plague.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's not.
We all grew up and got corporate jobs, or ended up in prison.
Well, I mean, the corporate job thing, it was less the corporate job and more the just everything else about him. He thinks he's so cool. He thinks he's still hip and relatable, as you pointed out. Even down to him being on a skateboard.
He's on a skateboard
when everybody else is in rollerblades, because 90s was rollerblades, 70s and 80s was skateboards.
Yeah, I still have rollerblades. I still have a pair of Bowers. They still fit me because I have not grown at all since I was like fucking 14.
But even when he first comes...
skateboarding like wasn't the thing. Like that was like, that was old.
Yeah.
Everybody was into rollerblading. You had like your older brother skateboarded because that was what they were into.
If somebody still had a skateboard in the 90s, it was...
Do you remember the Bart Simpson one with like that actually was not what we know now as the skateboard shape, but with the fat square
with the plastic bits on the bottom? Yeah. That's what I was about to say. If you knew somebody who was into skateboarding in the 90s, they either had one of those shitty ones
Bart Simpson
that you couldn't do any fucking tricks on, and all you could do is like roll around on them.
Yeah.
Or you knew somebody who had proper skateboards and was a proper skater.
Yeah, was like real into it.
Because everybody who was into blading in the 90s was kind of like the guys were. It was just to get around, and because it was what was popular. Like I knew a few blader kids in the 90s, and they would have been like, look at all you posers with your blades, you don't have Bowers, you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, he's on his little skateboard. He makes everybody call him the Plague.
He is wearing a fucking like this kind of weird fucked up version of a 3-piece suit. He's got the waistcoat, but it's floral. He wears the cravat. He's got the fur coat instead. The hair is like brushed back, but it's still long. Like he's just skirting the line of I'm a professional, but I'm not. Like I'm obeying the.
But he thinks everybody thinks he's as cool as he is.
Oh, they all just tolerate him. They tolerate him.
But I love that Mr. The Plague is the best.
Mr. The Plague. Penn Jillette.
I told you, call me the Plague. Sorry, Mr. The Plague.
I always enjoy Penn Jillette. I have very fond memories of him in Sabrina.
And bonus Penn Jillette is nice.
This is very similar kind of. He's the comic relief, sort of, and he's there trying to explain everything to Margot.
Well, I think he's the comic relief on that end of things.
Yeah.
Because we've got plenty on the good guy side.
Oh, God, yeah. And just like the horrible, shitty things that high schoolers do to each other.
Well, the whole Kate Dade animosity thing goes to a whole other level very quickly.
That's very much all on her. She is not a nice person to be around. Even when she meets his mom for the first time, she looks her up and down.
Kate's a bitch. Yeah. But Dade is like, she shows him around and she's, okay, whatever, she's standoffish. But then the other guy comes out of the class and is like, hey, Kate, tell him about the pool. She tells him about the pool and he gets wet and he's literally just hates her. Because shortly after that is when Freak is like, hey, what's your interest in Kate Libby? Academic or purely sexual? And he says, homicidal.
Yeah.
She played a prank on me and now I want to ruin her life.
Yeah. And you didn't have to go up there.
And I know he's got the hots for her, but like...
It's not like she showed him up there and was like, there you go.
Yeah, he went
and then locked
straight
the
up
door
there. He
behind him.
was supposed to go into a class. Doesn't have any swimming gear with him. But it's like, oh no, I'm going to immediately check out this pool just to see that it exists.
I do like the inclusion of the pool gag because the school where they actually filmed this is
it's a real like performing arts school, isn't it?
It's not a performing arts school, but it's for like technology and maths and sciences and things like that. That's what it focuses on. And they used to have, I think this was like the new building they had just moved into when they were filming this, but the old building did have a swimming pool. on like the 6th floor or something like that.
Oh no, I think that one has a swimming pool, but that was the gag in the school, the real school. To tell new students.
It was the actual prank in the school was to send them to this up onto the roof and get them locked out there.
Yeah.
Every school has pranks like that, but I just like the inclusion of that as being the actual prank of the filming location.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a nice little touch.
I think they try a little bit too hard on the Dade Kate stuff because they've tried to make her this real. She's one of the few characters where I think they don't get the balance right. Like, they got it really right with the Mr. the Plague. Like, no, it is. It's so bang on. Like, everything you pointed out, you totally get that he is a character that...
I mean, look at
his
apartment.
Thinks he's the shit, thinks he's so great, thinks he's better than everybody else, but yeah, lives in an absolute sty.
Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I thought the bed was literally just a mattress on the floor, and I was like, yep, that tracks. But it's actually some sort of weird, like, it's got pointy bits and mirrored bits on it. It's hard to tell because there's so much shit all over the floor.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, nowadays it would be like Monster and fucking Cheetos.
Oh, it'd be Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Mountain Dew and Doritos, Monster, like...
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, this is, like, at least this is, like, takeaway, so he's eating a bit better.
But then with, say, like, a serial killer... You have all this stuff to do.
Serial killer doesn't even have a home. He's just a nomad.
Yeah, he's this kind of nomadic kid that, like you said, he's supposed to have these bohemian parents, and it makes sense because his name is Emmanuel Goldstein.
Yeah, that's the character from 1984.
Yeah, and he does seem to live this very transient lifestyle, but he is still very...
Which I love as well when he goes on his big long thing about being constantly on camera. You know, and it's like, 1984. Big brother.
But he's clearly very well educated beyond what the school is.
He's also just nuts.
Yeah, he has also nuts.
I like that they're like, serial killer, you know, Fruit Loops. And you're like, and if you miss that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, so he is just nuts. Like, he's a bit like, okay.
And Joey is this little kid who's trying too hard, they're all fond of him. Because they let him hang around.
They're all very protective of him.
And they're kind of protective.
He's the little brother of the group.
Joey, when Freak says, Joey, I'm trying to protect you from yourself, but you got to stop letting your mama dress you. And if he was that annoying, they wouldn't let him hang around. But he's got a bit of talent. And he just tries too hard. So they're trying to get him to calm down and he'll be one of them kind of thing.
Yeah, he's that kid as well that you're like, if I don't save you from yourself, you're going to end up in a serious amount of trouble. And they do try and protect him when they're like, you're hacking across state lines from home, you got to stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then he goes after something, and he's just like hacking for, can I get into this? Like, he keeps saying he doesn't even know what he's in. They do try and warn him, and he ignores them, and then he gets arrested in the shower.
When his mom ungrounds him, the first thing he does is grab the thing that the government agencies are after and run straight to a friend with it.
Yeah, he's not a smart kid. God
Freak is a real clever guy.
Freak's more streetwise because like you get that as well though when he gets arrested, and you get the way the prison guard is dealing with them, and just by his reaction you know he has gotten that his entire fucking life.
Yeah, and he's
far more streetwise and more kind of aware.
Yeah, he knows when they've got a tail. He's the one who says you hacked it across state lines.
Yeah. Because he knows if he gets caught, he's fucked.
And when he gets arrested, the mother starts beating the crap out of him.
And he's like, please arrest me, what are you waiting for? And they're like, dude, we're not going near her because she might take her shoe off and start hitting us as well. Because he's lucky she was just hitting him with the back. She was just slapping him. That is brilliant though. When she's like, oh my God, what happened? You did what?
It's one of the best bits. Dade is, obviously he's our main character, but he's had this whole thing in the past where he's not allowed to go near it.
Yeah, he caused a major crash, which is based off a real thing that happened.
Oh yeah, but he's eager to get back into the hacking, but at the same time he doesn't want to do anything super dangerous because he knows he's been burnt before, and when stuff starts to go down, that's why he's reluctant to help them too much.
Yeah, and he knows
he kind of betrays them a little bit
as well.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't want his mom to get all of it tracks.
Like his mom has stood up for him the whole way through.
All of the characters are really well put together, and then you get to Kate, and I think they were going for not posh but like snobby, standoffish.
Mother hates men,
really well educated to her, but she needs to kind of soften up
in that very vindictive way. You never see her parents. You see almost everybody else's parents, or they get a mention, except for Nikon, who seems to live by himself.
Well, Nikon I think is supposed to be that bit older.
He's a little bit older.
Bro kind of went out on his own. Maybe he's living in a not great neighborhood.
Yeah, that's his apartment. Whereas with her, you kind of get with Kate, you get the impression that like she has the dicky boyfriend at the start.
Yeah.
But she's acting out almost in a way to get attention.
Yeah, but it's
like
just...
she does this because she doesn't get attention anywhere else. So this is how, like, her mother just seems to give her money.
And then the line at the end towards the end when Dade's mom is giving the Secret Service guy shit, and she's like, wow, she's amazing. You get the sense of, it's great that her mum is an author and gives her all that money, but no, I want a mum that does what your mum just did.
Yeah.
But that's one of the only point where I really feel you get it off Kate's character. A lot of the rest of the film, it just comes across as stone cold bitch.
Yeah, no, and Angelina Jolie herself has said that, like, she didn't really like, this is the character that typecast her as that angry bitch in a tank top that doesn't wear a bra. Kind of feel like she did it to herself, because her filmography after this, you've got Girl Interrupted, where I think it's brilliant. Like, she's real fucking damaged in that, and it comes across.
But no, I think it's the Gone in 60 Seconds. But
that was 4 or 5 years after this. And she had done 3 or 4. She'd done 4
to do those.
She'd done 4 or 5 movies between those. In between that, and she did that great film where she's the reporter who thinks she's going to die.
Yeah.
So, and she's on air. She has a complete breakdown on air.
She was in Pushing Tin as well, which is a real kind of under the radar.
So,
unintentional pun. Plain puns, sorry. But yeah, now I can see why she didn't like this character.
Yeah.
But I don't think she can hold it responsible for being in typecast.
I think if the character Kate's extremely serious as well, which is hard when everyone else around you's being quite goofy.
Yeah.
And if she'd had you get 1 or 2 moments of her letting loose in, like, the montage when he's having the hacking montage, and it's in the background and you see her fencing and things like that. But I think if she'd just kind of let loose a little bit.
For me, I think there's only 2 moments where she's
really uptight,
where she's really well written.
Yeah.
And they get across the kind of character that I think they were going for with the mom and all that sort of stuff, as opposed to just stone cold bitch. And that's the bit we talked about where she's like, oh wow, your mom's really something. Yeah. And the bit where they are looking at her laptop and she's getting it on with Curtis.
Oh, and she stands up and she
stands up and she's kind of covering herself, and Freak's like, oh, this laptop's like fucking insane. And she puts the finger up the mouth. She's like, oh, it really is, isn't it? And she runs over and talks to them about it.
And then you've got Curtis being like, oh, are you going to talk about that computer shit? And you can see her being really torn and being like,
she's like, I should because you're my boyfriend, but this is what I really want to talk about. And you never see Curtis after that.
And they appreciate me for wanting to talk about this.
I'm not just your arm candy. I'm they're into the same things as I am.
They respect me for what I'm doing. They don't look at me like this because it doesn't matter, because you're just a name.
If we had gotten a few more moments like those two from her throughout the film, I think I'd have gotten a lot more from her. Because you know at the very end where she says to Date, she's like, oh, if you had just told me from the start you were interested in me, we could have avoided all this. Nuh-uh. The first thing you said to him was you walked up to him and you said, transfer papers.
And then you walked off and then
went, do you speak English? And then walked off without saying he had to come with you, and then went, are you coming? It's like, no, I don't.
What? Do I have to? I've been told to wait here. I only follow instructions.
She's not. We've definitely had worse female characters on this podcast.
And you can see where it's going. It just, I think there was 1 or 2 moments of levity. She's very serious and she's real uptight and she's kind of mean.
I think, not even levity. 1 or 2 more of those vulnerable moments.
Yeah. Like she does very much have the brick wall up there, but it would have been nice to see it softened down, because she's getting praise for what she does.
That's exactly
and
it.
Being
she's
acknowledged for her value outside of just being like this pretty girl.
Yeah, no, you really hit the nail on the head there for what I was trying to get across. She's putting up a wall. This character that's put up a wall and that her friends and stuff need to break down. But for me, it just comes across as not a character who's put up a wall. It's a character that is the wall.
Yeah, because she's not even part of the friend group. Like, you can see Freak and Nikon and Joey and Serial Killer are a group. And
the 3 boys in school and Nikon
and she's always very much on her own.
Yeah.
Like, and even everything she wears, like, when he sees her for the first time in the nightclub play, The Hideout.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. So
Cyberdelia?
I'm just going to call it The Hideout.
Yeah, we'll call it The Hideout. If you're an Irish listener, that'll make sense to you.
Yeah, it's just off the back of Stephen's Green across from Miss Fangoria.
Miss Fantasia. Not going to help any of the non-Irish listeners.
No, it was a sex shop and a piercist. Great place.
Not The Hideout.
No, that was a pool hall that was quite dingy.
Yes.
everyone else is very dark and muted colours. Even the guys with like the bright prints on. I keep kind of just calling him Ranoli, and I know that's the actual actor's name.
Freak.
Even everything he's wearing is still kind of, even though he's in leopard print, it's a muted one.
Yeah.
I have brighter leopard prints. And she's always in like very pristine, like white or the bright blue. She always stands out. But she always stands out because she's standing up. She's always apart from everybody as well.
Yeah, and even when
like her oversized motorbike jacket is white, blue, and red.
Yeah.
Like she's always bright and focal.
Her helmet that she doesn't put on
is white. The white that one there, she's wearing a white boiler suit. In her party, she's wearing the cream coloured jumpsuit. She's always a lot brighter than the rest of them, but she's always pictured slightly apart from the group as well.
But even when they go to Nikon's for the first time and Dade asks, "Do you know a hacker called Byrne?"
Acid Burn.
They all know. But they don't say
them.
Because now if she was in their group, like if say...
Well, they also don't know who he is.
No,
yet,
but
so they're trying to work out who he is.
Say, for example, at that point they're kind of cool because that's where they're trying to tell Nikon, no, he's cool, he's elite, let him in. But I think, say for example, if they had asked if he had come across Joey and Joey had a name, but he didn't know what that name was, and he said, like, what was one of the ones Joey wanted to be, like, fucking the Master of Disaster. If he was like, hey, do you know a hacker called the Master of Disaster?
They were all real handles.
I know. But they probably would have said,
Boy Meets World. I think that, no, your Boy Meets World. Look at you.
But so if he had said, do you know a hacker called Boy Meets World? They would have been like, oh shit, yeah, that's Joey. Yeah. He runs with us.
He's an idiot.
But Byrne, they know Byrne and they know she hacks. And they know her as Kate, but that she's not in their inner group, so they're not going to be like, oh no, we're going to tell you who this hacker is. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Whereas that Freak, as well
like
adds
Freak
to
had
it.
come straight up, like Freak had seen him.
Oh, he was like, you're a hacker. I'm the freak. Don't play. You know, you've heard of me.
Yeah, I do all the phone shit.
Yeah. So she
I
is
love that
apart
as well.
from
When
it.
you meet Freak for the first time, he's like, I'm on the phone to Venezuela.
Mm.
It's like, of course you're making long distance phone calls from the school using shit.
Yeah, and he's like, can't help you, kid. All Jade asks for is the principal. Can you point me to the principal's office? And he's like, no, I ain't got time for that. But then he sees him hacking on the computer system, and he's like, ooh, friend.
I do like that as well, that the computer class has the substitute teacher who's talking about real basic shit.
What is he's subbing because the other teacher got done for something really funny as well.
Yeah, the teacher's out for being
she got arrested at an anti-fur protest.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, no, you do. You get that Kate is completely apart from the group, and then when
because whenever they're
she gets involved.
They all hang out separate, and even though they're like, oh yeah, there's a party on tonight, and it's at Kate's place.
It's not until Freak rings her about the disc.
Yeah.
That they all become his team.
It's in the place I put that thing at one time. It's brilliant.
Oh, there are there's endless quotable lines, mostly from Freak and Serial.
Yeah.
And then the obvious one.
But also, it's in the place I put that thing that one time is,
Oh yeah, everybody knows.
if you've ever had to ring somebody off the house phone in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You have a code with your friend. I did love that as well, them all walking around with it's something about the cord phone in the kitchen with the unbelievably long cord.
Oh yeah.
That has been stretched to bejesus because you've literally been like outside shouting out the back door whilst on the phone at some point.
But yeah, no, I will say, especially after last week.
Oh yeah, that was just like,
when we had too many characters and we cared about none of them. The characters in this are, even Kate, she's the weakest of them, but she's still not a bad character.
No.
All the characters are really well done, and I think it's because they take the time at the start.
Yeah, no, there is you get to meet them all kind of in little bits and then build up their character more, and I think once they start on the whole fucking with Agent Gill, it's so fun and so stupid. But you get to kind of see them interacting with you're introduced to introduction to Serial Killer. He's hawking the mixtapes.
Yeah. So, and it's you meet Dade and then you meet Kate, but you've seen Freak in the background very briefly at the phone.
Yeah.
And then the day goes on and Freak sees him hacking, and then we get a proper introduction
to Freak.
And you get Joey very briefly.
And Joey from the get is like, I need a handle. He doesn't give a shit that there's a complete stranger standing there.
Yeah.
And like, okay, he's heard Freak introduce himself as Freak, but he can't.
Well, he hasn't. He's just run up straight away.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what that conversation's about.
Freak, yeah. It's like, no, dude.
And you only get him for a few seconds, and you don't get him until in Cyberdelia. And then you see Serial outside for a split second, get more of a bit of an introduction to Joey, and then like Serial joins them at the table after he beats Libby. Freak and Joey are standing and watching him play Wipeout, beating Libby's top score, and then they sit down and get the fries, and Serial shows up and joins, and then you get your Serial introduction when he's saying the whole night, we're living in 1984, they just got the year wrong, man.
Oh, his whole paranoid delusion because he's high as balls because he eats all the chips, all the fries.
His big long thing, and then he ends the rant with, oh man, we're just numbers. Can I get a fry?
Yeah. I know, when he's brushing the teeth later on, he's just staring at people when he asks them to stay in their house.
Matthew Lillard and Renoli Santiago. I don't want to say they make this film, but if they weren't in it, it would be a far poorer film.
I don't know a single person that didn't have some sort of weird crush on Matthew Lillard in the 90s, because this Scream fucking...
He's just so good at everything he's in,
Punk,
but particularly...
I love him in this when he's trying to be when he's looking down, he's trying to be all sinister, smiling, and it's not working.
No, when they're doing when they're fucking with Agent Gill and they're starting at the phone and he's standing by the phone box with his arm crossed like this big sentry. I'm on guard. He's just so full of I'm assuming he probably lives on Jolt Cola because he's just full of energy.
Fuck me, Jolt Cola. Can you still get that?
I don't know, but I think you can, but it was referenced in this. So
yeah, because it was like caffeinated cola. It was like Jolt Cola was the shit.
But you get all this really good stuff of the characters being introduced bit by bit and slowly, and all about what they're up to as hackers. Joey trying the stuff with telling the story about the bank and then being like, no, you can't do that, and then if you really want to impress us, you got to go and hack a Gibson.
No, you have to do a righteous hack.
Yeah, you got to do a righteous hack,
but nobody can hack a Gibson. That was like the whole thing, is that there's no point in trying to go after them.
Oh yeah, that would be righteous.
They'll just shut you down immediately, even if you can get into them.
But Joey's like, fuck it, I'm going to try anyway.
Because I think this was kind of the start of doing the DDoS attacks, where we discovered that if you got enough people to request the same file directory, you could overload the system and shut it down.
Pretty sure that's what's supposed to happen at the
end. That is what
happens
at the end, is they just overload it and crash it.
But yeah, you get it. It's a solid half an hour, I think, before you even see Mr. the Plague at all. So you've gotten all this good character stuff, and then they're like, right, we'll introduce the villain, and you just get a small setup of it. And that is through Joey's hack. Yeah,
because somebody signed in as God. But the introduction with you've got Pendulette there with his little laser cut acrylic keyboard.
Yeah.
That makes bong noises when you hit it.
Yep.
The bong noises. You know it's the 90s because everything's transparent. Bonus points if it's transparent and lights up from the inside. Although there was not an inflatable couch to be seen anywhere.
No, there really should have been an inflatable couch.
No, they were 98, 99. I remember buying one at Ozfest to sit on for the day.
Yeah.
Inflatable stuff was more Y2K. What was I saying? Oh yeah, bonus points if it lit up. But when Eugene Belford?
Mr. the Plague.
Yeah, his introduction with the phone call, and you just see the hand, and it's a blanket covering what looks like a mattress on the floor. Apparently there is a bed frame.
I'm actually, it's just occurred to me now, I don't think that's his bedroom. That's his office/lab.
Is it? Does he even have a home? Because he comes straight down.
Yeah, he gets the call. Oh my God, he lives in the call, and the next time we see him, he's in the room, and I don't think much time is, because he just says, you better come down here.
That would make sense why Margot's getting dressed and going out to a meeting.
Yeah, I think he's actually so it's not even just that he's got a horrible dingy apartment with fucking a shitty bed and Doritos and Mountain Dew everywhere. That's his office with a mattress in it.
He moved out of his basement and into his office.
Yeah. He really is a fucking plague. Yeah, so that's not his house. He's come down from the office.
Office/bedroom. He is solely responsible for the ant problem.
You want ants? This is how you get ants.
Yeah, because he comes down on the skateboard. I never realised that. I was like, your man's like, oh yeah, he's in the system and he's moving around. I was like, damn, he got there quick. No, he just probably came down 2 floors.
Yeah, he came down from his office bedroom.
Or around the corner from his office bedroom. Ew, people, oh no, can you imagine working there in the normal secretariat pool or something? You'd be down there perving on you in the bullpen.
He's not working from home, he's homing from work.
Ew.
Gross.
At least he has pants on.
But yeah, no, I think they take the time and they set up the characters and they set up their little hacking world and their little hacking subculture really well before they introduce any normal
people.
Well, or any of the main plot, the action plot.
Well, once they get the Secret Service involved, it's just hilarious.
Oh, but even the way they do that is great, actually, because that's when they're in Nikon's apartment. And they're like...
Oh, yeah, you see Joey being arrested behind them.
You don't realise that. You see that they go to Nikon's place and they sit down, they watch TV, and somebody starts booing.
It's just about to change over to Hack the Planet, the show, and you see him giving the interview.
He's giving an interview about what shitty hackers are. No, you don't see Joey in the background.
Going past until you see it when it happens.
So you see Gil getting introduced, and they're like, who's that? And Sirius like, oh, that's public hacking enemy number 1, man. That's Richard Gil. He's a fucking, whatever. Then they watch Hack the Planet.
15 years serving fucking guarding the president.
Then they cut to Joey getting arrested and Gil outside and being
giving that interview. Yeah,
he's like, oh, he gets the update from his underling, who's Mark Anthony. Yes. And then goes to give a press interview, and you see him saying exactly what he said on TV a few seconds earlier, and then Joey getting let out in the background. They do a few things like that in this that I really,
at least
really
they let
like.
Joey put pants on. Because he was bare ass naked getting dragged across that floor at one point.
And even the way he's arrested.
I love the way he gets arrested.
But because the film starts with Dade's arrest, and you see everything from...
You see the SWAT invasion
all the way into the house. And it cuts just as they kick in the door to Dade's room, and then it cuts to the courtroom, and you find out he's a little kid. With Joey's arrest, it's him in the shower, and you don't see any of the stuff leading up to them bashing into his room. It's only when he pulls back the shower curtain and realises his bathroom is full of agents. But yeah, I like that flip between Joey's arrest and Dade's arrest.
Oh, when you called her the knockoff.
Oh, knock off Gillian Anderson in the courtroom.
Yeah, except it's Felicity Huffman.
Yeah, whatever.
Gillian Anderson would have probably only been like 18.
No, Gillian Anderson was in season 3 of the X-Files at this point.
I suppose 1996. All the arrests I love. Them coming in through the balcony window.
The fake out for... Well, it's not even a fake out. The freak has the dream and then immediately gets arrested.
Whoa, deja vu. Yeah, even when Dade gets kind of threatened, the way that's done when he opens the door and your man's behind him, there's a guy in front of him.
Yeah.
I do like the way that's all done. It's and them being dragged off. But in particular, Jesse trying to save his computer.
Joey. Yeah.
Because it's Jesse Bradford, and I think I've been
Joey when he kisses it.
I think he's been
you and me, Lucy,
calling him Jesse the whole time.
You have mentioned Jesse once or twice, but you've also been calling him Joey. I was getting confused.
Yeah, because Jesse Bradford is the actor.
And Jesse was a character last week.
Yeah. No, when he's trying to save the computer, he lunges at his computer and the towel comes off and he's hanging on to the guy and it's just like, bum! And his mom's like, oh, Joey. I love his mom is so 90s with her scrunchies and her glasses, and I think she might have been in Ghostbusters. I think she's actually that person. Egon.
No, she's not, Janine.
She's not, but she has like the pineapple scrunchie absolutely. And her workout gear. When she tells him he's not grounded anymore, it's like,
when they release him and they're like, we're going to release him and keep him under tight surveillance and see where he goes with that disc. And then it cuts to Joey's building and the two lads in the car outside, and it's like, suspect's apartment, still no movement because he's grounded by his mother.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Also,
being put on surveillance duty for a grounded teenager.
Also, the fact that he tried to cover up the fact that he was smoking a cigarette while his mom was like opening the door, literally a foot behind his head. Yeah.
She knows.
Plus, it's a teenage boy's room. Cigarette smoke is not the worst smell in there.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be worse smells in there.
Yeah, cigarette smoke is not the worst smell in there.
But the pacing of this actually is great as well, because that's like Joey gets arrested. Then it cuts back to the lads, I think, watching Hack the Planet. Then it cuts back to Joey in the room and getting
what
released.
I like is when they're on the Hack the Planet bit and they're showing them something about, how to record the sound. But you've already seen Freak do that earlier.
Yeah, but
you're like,
oh, now I know what that thing was.
Yeah.
Because
that's all things that you used to be able to do, because you could do it in like Terminator and stuff.
All the hacking stuff in this is pretty much bang on. Like they get a few details wrong about like what's in her fancy ass PC.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
This 28.8 BPS modem.
It's a Macintosh. Macintoshes did not take Pentium chips.
Yeah, but at the same time, those are things that modders might do to their own computers.
But the chips didn't exist at the time.
No, but I was saying that bit aside, all the rest of the stuff,
all the Linux users were like screaming at that.
All the hacking stuff is legitimate hacking stuff.
Yeah.
Other stuff that's kind of wrong, like Joey's mum pulling out the plug. Well, Joey's mum doesn't know any better.
No.
But yeah, no, the pacing moves, I think, really helps in this film because it moves it along so quickly. You're never in one scene for ages getting it dragged out.
There's one or two
cuts back and forth.
Yeah, there's one or two nice little montage sequences in it as well. Like you have the fucking
with Richard Gill.
Fucking with Gill, and then they're like when they're doing the research and they're setting up everything when he's trying to crack the code.
Yeah.
The twirling phone
boxes
is kind of a thing onto itself. That's a bit weird.
It's a bit much.
Just a little bit. But the fucking with Richard Gill montage is just so fun because they're not bad people.
No, like, and you see people, that's it.
That's the whole thing, is they're not the hackers that like we get nowadays who are taking stuff for espionage and blackmail, and like don't get me wrong, there were people doing that, but there were a lot of people who were Mr.
the Plagues.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who were just like, oh, I wonder if I can get into this.
But I think that's the line.
Let's go and have a look around.
That's the line that's drawn between them and the Plague.
Oh, yeah, well, their tagline in this is
Joey gets arrested. Okay, they know Joey did something he wasn't supposed to do, but they're like, let's get payback for Joey and fuck with this agent.
Yeah.
Whereas Mr. the Plague is like, this kid could help me but isn't. I'm going to threaten to get his mom put away for all of her life.
Like literally disappear her.
Yeah, like I'm going to disappear your mom.
And I've already tried to get like all of your friends arrested because they've unveiled my nefarious plot to they found his worm, whatever.
Well, they haven't even found his worm. They just could potentially find his worm.
Yeah, so he was already like nibbling money off a load of things, which, can I just point out initially, that's a really clever plan.
His initial crime isn't that bad. Like, I don't mind that he's ripping 25 million off a massive multinational corporation. Yeah. Couldn't give a shit.
Who won't notice it because it's so
causing an ecological disaster so that you can frame a bunch of innocent teenagers. Not so cool.
Yeah, to cover that up, not fun.
But yeah, they're just doing it to just fuck with him a little bit. And everything we've seen them do is fuck with a TV station so he can just watch the thing he wants to watch. Yeah. Make a phone call for free. Mess with the sprinkler systems in a school. It is all just, and like even Joey's hacking the bank he was just seeing, like, I'm just seeing what I'm doing. Like, where am I? What can I do? Like, and they didn't know what he did until the next day. And they give out to him for doing that. They're like, Joey, that was irresponsible. A, you could have gotten yourself caught. B, you didn't even know what you were fucking doing.
Yeah, because like in fairness, web security was not a thing.
No, like what if that instead of an ATM spitting out money, what if you had been fucking around on a hospital computer?
Yeah, and you'd switched off something.
You need to take more care, Joey.
You need to be aware of what you're doing. You're not there to hurt people, but fucking over corporations, that's cool.
But the Plague is all about personal gain and screwing over other people. They follow the Hacker Manifesto. Yeah. Mr. The Plague doesn't. He pretends that he does.
Well, the spirit of the Hacker Manifesto.
Which they read out.
Yeah, and which I quite liked because the other agent is like, I can see it.
Well, he's their tech guy. He's the one who's explaining all the tech stuff to the other guys.
Yeah, he's sort of on their side. Yeah, you can see
he's at least more sympathetic to them. And I like that as well.
The one thing I find really, really confusing is the US government is aware that they have a child prodigy computer genius who's managed to like fuck up a whole load of systems, and they don't keep tabs on him or have tried to lure him into some form of FBI. Like, they do, like, they'll keep an eye on them, keep them working on stuff, see how their schooling's going, with the idea that they're going to be recruited at the age of 18.
They probably would. No, they would have waited a year or two and then gotten that kid and just had him doing stuff like programming somewhere. Yeah. They would not have fined his family 45 grand and financially crippled them.
No, they might have done that anyway. But they would have then gone about actively recruiting him. Like, they wouldn't let that. No, an asset like that they can get through, like, national security at the age of 11?
No, that's normally what they do. That's why, like, car thieves work for car companies.
That's why literally casinos hire bank thieves. Who else is going to
card counters?
And, like, you have a hacker there. You're a hacker who's gotten into a whole load of stuff and not done any damage. Yeah, they're going to hire you.
Oh, well,
security companies love hackers.
Yeah, especially when hackers do that kind of thing and get caught. Like, say, somebody like Joey, who just didn't know what he was doing. If Joey had hacked into something else, just a random supercomputer Gibson, and got put on trial, and it wasn't to do with fucking Mr. the Plague.
He was just going to look around.
Yeah, they would have been like, you did bad, but you're really, really fucking talented. You weren't trying to do anything malicious, so Well, we're going to get you to come and work for us.
Yeah, because there was, I remember hearing like things in the news of being like hackers broke into somewhere and then informed.
Yeah, this is
by
how
the way, this is
was.
really unsecure. Yeah, do you want to know how we know? Lights on, lights off.
Yeah. Those are the good hackers.
Yeah.
Mr. the Plague can suck it.
Those ones are still around. They're the guys who are helping with like sex trafficking and child abuse because they're able to wander around the deep web and not have to go through all the extra infiltration stuff.
Yeah.
They're still out there and they're still doing good. They're very much in the spirit of this. Bad guys can't win.
There's still Dades and there's still freaks and there's still serials and there's still plenty of Mr. the Plagues as well, unfortunately.
I did like the fact that they used the Cookie Monster virus though, because that made me happy.
Yeah, what do I do? Type in cookie, idiot.
Give it an Oreo if you want more time.
No, her lines. Sorry, but in particular,
Brain
Margot's line, Colonel who?
That was clever.
Cancer brain.
Because if you didn't know what a colonel was, you would be like, Colonel who?
Some of it was for explanation, but just her lines are just so badly written, and
where did all the rest of the little techie minions come from? And there's about 8 people in that room witnessing him threatening people and launching his virus.
Why is he there? That's what I want to know. Like if he's head of security and like head of cyber security or whatever it is. Okay, whatever.
Why is
maybe
HR there? That's what I'd be worried about because Margot's head of HR.
Was it? No, it was PR. She had public relations.
Yeah, but she doesn't need to be there.
Well, yeah, she's there because she's in on it.
Yeah.
but yeah, I get why maybe Penn Jillette is there because he's the guy who's just running the Gibson computer. What are all those other dudes doing? Like, how is he justifying his job?
Yeah, I was like, why is there like 8 other people? Oh, look, there's just new technicians.
Yeah, and they're all scrambling to try and stop these hackers.
Yeah.
Now, my thing is more when the hackers finish what they're doing, the virus that he has planted stops. So immediately they're going to be like, hey, look, the virus stopped.
They've killed the entire supercomputers, so.
Although I suppose it's a bit of a moot point because shortly after that, Serial comes on the TV and lets everybody know what he's been up to.
I feel like God.
Yeah, I love that. Like, yo, I feel a little bit like God. And even the echo.
Yeah, because it's up on like, what was that? That was like Space Lab or something? That satellite that they focus on?
The satellite, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's as they cut to the satellite, they put the echo on his voice. There's loads of really nice little technical stuff in that. Like I said, the weird little, the differences between the 2 arrests. That's more of a kind of a thematic thing, but then all the visual stuff with the TV, like the old school TV, when they're having their battle at the start, Acid Burn and Crash Override are having their little battle.
The little changer, the disc changer thing, just being really confused, and the two little like video selectors having almost like a physical Rock'em Sock'em Robot kind of fight.
Yeah, but it's intercut with all the like cowboys and Indians fighting and old like
boxing, and then
old boxing
at each
matches
other,
and stuff. Yeah. I love all that. All the dream stuff is great.
The dreams are so fun. Kate's dream is hilarious. Especially, I love Kate's reaction when she wakes up and she's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the little shy smile.
But also that was really funny too, because he's in the red, like you think it's her in the outfit, so unless he took a masterclass in tucking, that's not him in that outfit.
Not him. But all the visual stuff of like
Bob, pick a side.
The shots of like the subway cutting through to the cyberspace stuff, and
where you go through like the wall of chips almost. It actually
it's a subway into a wall of chips.
To like for going through like phone lines or whatever. It's a nice way to show the distance.
And the one over New York that changes into the motherboard.
Yeah,
little bit overdone.
For what it could have for the 90s, it's remarkably restrained.
It is and it isn't. It's remarkably restrained because it could have been a hell of a lot worse, yes.
They could have gone extreme to the max.
Oh, they could have gone extreme to the max. But if you've never watched a film like this, you're probably going to think they went over the top. But it's like, no. If you were around that kind of cyber culture at the time.
Any kind of counterculture, to be honest.
Yeah, no, they have toned it down a bit. But I think they've hit the nail right for.
I also like the fact when they have all the guys coming in to help them hack everything, and it really was a proper like cross section. Like you have the guy in the business suit with his like little pinky ring in London.
Yeah,
you've got the really traditional house and Japanese garb.
Yeah,
and she's sitting on the floor and ready to go, and then you've got the Italian chick.
Oh yeah, and then the 2 like Russian gangster looking dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's this nice
like cross section, and because they're like you've got all sorts of people do this.
Yeah.
I do like the English guy there being like, right, let's go.
And I think that was one of the things that I really liked about this film as a kid was because it probably would have been about 12 or 13 when I first saw it. And up to that point for me, I think counterculture I would have been aware, like, it was music. You know what I mean? You were a punk, you were a metaler, you were a goth or an emo or whatever. But then I saw this and it was like, oh, well, they're all different. They're just...
But it's another niche. And
it's another niche. It's this
to...
one niche that they share, but they're fine with them all being different in all the other ways. You don't all have to be into the same thing, and you will find a niche kind of for yourself.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like crossover as well, which is nice because anything realistically, I know for a lot like American like teen.
Yeah.
If you don't fit into your fucking box, man.
Yeah.
You're a weirdo and an outsider and a loner.
And these are all weirdos and outsiders and loners, but
they're their own family. It's Revenge of the Nerds, but like they're not.
Well.
Yeah.
Have you watched Revenge of the Nerds lately?
It's real problematic.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's
but like that had been
proto Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but like
make your own family.
That was like the persona that had been out there of like the computer geek, and it was like you were like the taped up glasses and the pocket protector and the Bill Gates of it all. Because I love Bill Gates, but he ain't a hip, cool, happening dude.
No.
Like.
But no, yeah,
this was the first time that people who were into computers, like for a wider audience, they showed people who were like into computers being
cool.
Yeah.
And they are cool. And they still, that's the thing, apart from maybe the fashion choices, to me, they still all seem really cool.
Yeah, like, but that, it is the, it wasn't the specky nerd.
No, none of them have
heavily asthmatic and with stiff breeze to take them away. That kind of thing.
No, there's nobody like that in this film at all.
And not a single one of them has any sort of awkward social anxiety. They're all extremely confident.
Dade maybe a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But again, you get that's the impression because Dade hasn't been able to fit in anywhere. What he really wants to do is play with computers all the time. But he can't let anybody know.
He's not even allowed near a touchtone phone. Like.
So his whole high school until he moved, he probably was like, all I want to do is play with computers and I can't.
And he's not allowed to build anything.
When I do, it's not like I could let any of my friends know because I'll get arrested again.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of probably was a loner in his school because he does get a bit awkward around them. But that's just until he kind of gets to know them.
Yeah.
But what would you say, favourite thing about the film?
Freaking serial killer and icon, particularly when they're trying to gather all the stuff for the big heist, when they're trying to get the manual.
Yeah.
Truck! No, but he comes skating over and he's like, look, I got a hat. And Icon's like, you just had to get the fucking manual, you tit. Like,
yeah.
And then when he comes out from under the desk and he's like, oh, I got it. And he walks off with the ass crack. Basically, Matthew Lillard in this whole film, because I think he just showed up and they were like, what are you today?
Yeah, no. Matthew Lillard, Renoli Santiago, and actually I can't remember, Tintin from The Crow.
Yeah.
Nikon.
The three of them just have a great time. I also like the fact that every now and again, particularly with the three of them, you get these reminders that they are very young.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he got her top off one-handed.
Difficulty rating? 7.
And he's changed. And you're like, oh, yeah, they're teenagers.
Yeah, they're still teenagers. The three of them in the
corner and like at least fucking... I've forgotten his name.
Dade. Yeah.
Has the decency to be like, oh, Kate. Because the other three were quite happy to just watch.
Yeah.
And then again, when he's like, oh, Lisa.
Oh yeah, he lists off all of her stuff.
And Lisa, when he's like, yo, Lisa, you can hear her going,
how do you know my name?
And it's like, yeah, dude, not cool. And then, Serial, don't call a woman's bum her pooper. Because, ew.
Yeah.
No. But the three of them are great fun because they're like the Three Stooges going around, like when they're watching all the like the serious interactions. And they're just in the background basically eating popcorn.
But even like that bit with Lisa where she's like, how the hell do you know my name? Like they're cool in amongst themselves and
but
they don't care.
Still not.
They don't care if they're outcast to everybody else. Like, and they'd probably be like, that girl is like, who the fuck are these guys and how do they know my name? But anybody who goes to fucking Cyberdelia probably knows, oh yeah, that's Freak, that's Serial, that's Nikon.
They all know themselves within it, yeah. I really enjoyed the three of them just being normal, weird teenagers and doing those sort of things that happen when you have really lax parental supervision.
Yep. I think I really love just how I've forgotten how fun and lighthearted this film was, because when we sat down to watch it the first time and Amazon Prime was like thriller, action, comedy. And I was like, comedy?
I was like, yeah.
It's not a comedy. And then it's like, actually, do you know what? It's way funnier than I remember it being. Like, yeah, like the stuff with Truck and all the stuff around Joey. Like, Joey's got some great comedy bits in it as well.
Even their interactions with their teachers, like in the English class.
Yeah.
When they're like, you're not even in this class. The only thing I've lost, or of all the things I've lost, the thing I miss most is my mind.
Of all the things that I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Ozzy Osbourne.
Aye. Also, Kate's dodgy ass fucking handwriting.
Yeah.
Nobody is taking the time in class to do your fucking graffiti throw handwriting.
Oh, yeah. And it's impressive that your mum has sold 2 million books on her last book. Still doesn't make her a major author of the 20th century.
Yeah, but I like the fact that was supposed to be applied English.
Let's not get into the American education system towards the end of the podcast. Yeah, because
I didn't know you could take fencing as a course either.
That's right, fencing is one of her
It literally has like 5 subjects.
Oh, but we cannot wrap up without at least mentioning the first of 3 things that I will shout out a window if I ever get arrested.
Oh, hack the planet.
Hack the planet.
Fight the fairies.
Fight those fairies will be the second thing. And the third thing will be, well, any combination of, I see you know you do well.
Yeah.
What is the charge? Enjoying a meal. A succulent Chinese meal. But first and foremost, it will be hack the planet. It has been shouted out many a car window, at many a friend and random stranger. But no, I was pleasantly... I mean, I knew I was going to enjoy this. I knew I was going to enjoy rewatching it, but...
There's 1 or 2 bits in it that haven't aged great.
One of which we just talked about.
Yeah, but apart from that, it's so much fun.
Yeah, no, and
I'd forgotten about the really cute tiny laptops.
Oh, the tiny, like,
now
laptops.
you can crush somebody's skull with one.
Yes.
But they were so dinky and adorable, and then everything had to get really big and awkward, and then it all got super light, and I was like, can I just have the little tiny compact...
The little chunky laptops?
Yeah.
With the tiny, like, 8-inch screen on it?
Yeah, and it was square.
Yeah.
They were adorable.
Screen. It does hold up really well. There's 1 or 2 scenes like that are a bit... Ooh.
No, it's a really fun film. I love Jesse Bradford in this because he was actually 16 when they filmed it, and it's noticeable that he is the youngest.
Oh, yeah.
But the one thing I love the most is he obviously took up smoking just before this film.
Yeah.
Because he is smoking that cigarette properly, but it's everything to do with like the way he's holding it is everyone knows that kid.
Except
when he's got it just hanging out of his mouth,
that's convincing.
Yeah, but the rest of the time it is very much that kid who's like just taking it up and he thinks he's the shit.
Yeah.
And also my name's Joey, but I'm not an addict. And he's got the coffee in his cigarette.
That's a great scene, yeah. Can I get some more coffee?
Yeah, back in a second. But I'm not an addict, yeah. It's like, no, you call
Joey's great.
You call the computer Lucy and you're like kissing it.
But I like how he gets his little kind of redemption at the end.
Oh, he's the one who gets it.
Dade gets taken out, but Joey's the one who actually gets the stuff at the end. And when he's doing it, I really believe that he's got the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, the intense look of focus on his face, not really paying attention to anybody.
Well, the whole cigarette's burnt down,
away.
Which I like.
Yeah, the cigarette's burnt down.
During the montage, you can see it's got the big ash
thing
on it, so it has literally just burnt down while he's been doing it.
It's great.
I also, big round of applause for sending Serial off to tamper with the other phones because he did not have the focus to be doing that.
No. No, he really didn't.
Because in fairness, he stood in front of a police car and shouted, hack the planet.
Yeah, when he was the only one that they really needed to still be doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Serial gets a little bit ahead of himself.
I also love the fact that he pulls that out of a bin right in front of a guard, in front of a police officer as well, and then is like, yeah!
See ya!
Like, he is not a inconspicuous person.
Yeah. No, this was always a film of mine that I'd said would be kind of one of my favourites, but I hadn't watched it in a long, long time. Knew it was going to be very 90s. Is very 90s.
But in a really good way.
Fun. Still really fun. Paced really well. Nice little plot. Nothing too complicated. Great characters.
Some really bad ADR at points.
Yeah.
Particularly with Margot, it's hilarious because there is things being said and nobody's mouth is moving.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant.
Oh yeah, no, it's not perfect, but I was expecting us to be doing it a lot more when we watch it, being like, oh, look at that ridiculous stuff. Look at that 90s clothes. Listen to them talk about the incredibly outdated technology. But it really wasn't that much of an issue.
No, it's such a little small bit, and then because the graphics and everything, all the visualization still looks really, really good and really clean, even when he is doing his confused meme face, where it's just like, oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to make a gif out of that.
Yeah,
if it doesn't exist as one.
It's the original one. That still all looks really, really good as well, which helps.
Yeah,
if that had looked really, really clunky, like Acid Burns logo still looks good, like the smiley face, everything they use when you think about the Cookie Monster coming along.
Oh, and Acid Burns font.
Yeah.
Is you wouldn't download a bear.
It is you wouldn't download a bear. But like when you get all the viruses coming through and the rabbit coming through and all of that stuff looks brilliant.
Yeah, no, I mean...
If that had looked really like clunky and kind of like 8-bitty, it would have aged it.
Yeah, if they tried to use like actual CG graphics...
Yeah.
It would probably look terrible, but they just use kind of on computer stuff. Like, it's cheesy, but it doesn't look bad.
In fairness, I'm pretty sure most of it is just the Windows Media Player skins. Because some of the fractal stuff, I'm pretty sure I recognised. I was like, hey, look, it's pipes.
But yeah, no, as opposed to last week, where there was still some fun last week.
There was fun last week.
This week I can definitely highly recommend. Love this film. Still love this film. So much to enjoy. On so many different levels.
I do have one small thing about this, which is the music, which is fantastic.
Mostly fine.
Which is like Orbital and The Prodigy and Underworld and all of the good stuff. Like it's all EDM, it's all proper like electronica.
Yeah.
Why are the posters then Nirvana and Soundgarden and all big grunge bands?
Yeah, it's the Huey t-shirt problem all over again.
Yeah,
isn't it?
and then why does it change to a really fucking 90s guitar solo for the end sequence instead of using one of like...
No, it's for montages. That's the... I realised when I was thinking back over it.
That's the 90s,
they use
the
it
90s
when they're,
montage guitar.
When they're cracking the disc, they use it, and then at the end when you've got the spinning phone boxes and they're attacking the Gibson, they use it.
Yeah,
that's the montage music. And I think contractually, if your film had like more than 5 or 10% action in the 90s, you had to have a wailing guitar solo.
Yeah, at some point.
We saw it in Con Air, and we saw it again here.
Con Air's the worst for it.
But I think that about wraps it up for Hackers.
Yeah, go watch it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If you haven't watched it, watch it again. If you suddenly are really nostalgic to get into like go digging through the back of your wardrobe for some of the shit you used to wear back in the day, go watch this.
Go watch it. But as ever, we will be back next week. In the meantime, if you want, you can head and listen to some of our previous episodes or our other podcast, or come and chat with us on Twitter at rantsmono, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are Monorants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Jesse from Sudden But Inevitable and Open Pike Night.
This is Sci-Fi.